drawings should have shown. And then they put all that together, and then that became the basis to go and appeal for restoration and get grants. And
it's run by Parks and Rec now.
it is run by Parks and Recs, yeah.
And
apparently they have the option, or actually already own the building next door. I believe.
Wow.
But it's still,
Rex and Parks.
yeah, but they don't have the money yet to move forward.
Hey, Paula.
It's been lovely.
You're on mute. Laura had to step away. She's going to be back in about 5 minutes. So we can wait or we can start. Okay, you're on mute, but I think you said we'll wait.
I'm sorry, you told me that. Yes, I said we'll wait because she's the one that's supposed to be leading this meeting.
Okay.
Okay, now I see everybody. It was like, how come I couldn't see everybody? Oh, all right, now I see everybody. Oh gosh. Well, hello everybody. Welcome. Oh my goodness. Now my PC is doing some kind of diagnostics. What?
So I haven't replaced the doors.
I know they have it. I know they have it, though. I don't know.
They do have it.
They do
That's
have
good.
It's in the storage or something like that, so I don't know if they're trying to restore it themselves or
Was it damaged?
no. Well, it's a long story.
Something happened with like Halloween time, right? It's
Yeah.
been a while.
Where did Laura go?
It's a long story, but she basically had to move her car. LA problem.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I feel like everybody understands.
Well
We've all been there.
Well said.
If it's not traffic, it's parking.
That's one reason why I'm glad I'm remote. I don't have to move my car.
Do we know, is Candace coming tonight?
As
Or
far as
coming
I
in?
know, I haven't
Oh.
spoken with her. But yeah, I was expecting to see her. Let me reach out to her while we're waiting.
Oh.
Hmm.
Hey, Herman.
How's it going, UNNC family?
Pretty good.
Hello.
We're going to be
Right.
about 5 minutes or so before we get started.
That's totally fine. I have some quick updates that I wanted to give you guys. And then I hope to be seeing you later this month at our town hall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Herman.
What's going on, Miss Spears?
Everything's okay over here.
Okay. I hope I see you at the NFDC event next month.
The who? What?
In NFDC.
Oh,
Frontier?
the Democratic Club meeting.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're gonna have their installation gala on the 14th of next month.
oh, and you're being installed, right?
I am.
Congratulations.
Thank you much.
How do I
That's a
get that
big
picture down?
What picture?
That picture, my
There
back.
it is. Oh, that's your background.
It's not supposed to be a background. It's either supposed to be either me or the picture. I don't know.
We
how to
got
take
both,
it
two
out.
for the price of one.
I don't know how to take it out. Oh, there we go.
Hey,
Hello,
Dolores.
Hi, everybody.
Move your screen forward just a little bit because all we see is,
Your nose.
yeah,
There
there
you
you go.
Your eyes and your nose.
We're waiting about 5 minutes. Laura had to, a situation, but she'll be back in a couple minutes.
Oh,
And we're
And I
kind
just-
of waiting for Candace, our treasurer. I just texted her to say, are you coming to the meeting?
and your secretary?
Secretary's there.
Oh, I don't see her.
Yeah, I don't know how come we can't see the whole table. There
Oh,
she
there you
is.
go. Hey, y'all.
How you doing?
Remember, it's AI technology, so whoever's talking, it's going to zoom in on that person.
Mm.
So,
Oh, AI is so scary. Can you guys see this?
Well, we can see her holding something up, but we can't read it.
it's a little blurry, but how do they look, Dolores?
They look fine. A simple bag, but it's smaller than I thought it would be.
Are the handles blue?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Royal blue.
That's cute.
Okay, when you pull it back, okay, and the UNNC is all blue. Is there any orange in there?
No,
No,
it's all blue.
we could only, do one color.
Wonderful. It's
We're
beautiful.
trying to save on some money, Paula.
All right, save on.
If you want fancy, you gotta fork over some more ducats.
Hey,
Candace.
Oh, can't see it.
Laura, she
Oh,
had a
well.
situation.
Oh, and
You did.
it's a long story.
Teresa,
Yes, Dolores.
it was only the bags in those boxes I received. I just opened the boxes. The t-shirts are not in there.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they're gonna send them later.
No,
Go for
but you
it.
can sit here. Yeah.
Either
Is that Candace?
Okay. Yes, Candace is here.
All right. Hello.
You saw her.
I don't remember what prop one.
She's
was.
on that.
Right.
She's on that one.
Looks like maybe
Oh,
towards.
I don't know.
I was really close 2 nights ago.
From her or something, so. I say we go ahead and get started.
Yeah, I
So-
thought she would be back by now.
Yeah. So, but because we have a couple of guests, why don't we just get started? So we're going to call it to order at 7:06. And we're going to start off with general public comments. So Herman, what you got for us?
Okay, good evening. Hope everybody's doing well.
Yes.
I need a phone number to text because what I'm going to send you is a flyer for our we have a legislative town hall meeting coming up on the 25th. That's next Monday. It's going to be at New Earth over in Culver City. And it's going to be a fireside chat style where the member brings you up to speed with the legislative package, but it's just a good opportunity for us to have some, informal dialogue and just really be up to speed with each other.
And just for everybody in the room, Herman Jones is the deputy with Isaac Bryan, our assembly member.
Yes. I'm senior field representative for the assembly member, born and raised in Leimert Park and in the 55th district. And I take it personally. I care about it personally. And it's always an honor to be able to interface with groups like you all who are doing such great work.
You want to text this flyer to a phone number or
maybe since
to an email?
You can send it to Dolores Herman, if you don't mind. She's our outreach chair, so she'll make sure it gets on all our platforms and get it to Laura so Laura can put it on our website and our newsletter.
Okay. Dolores, would you give me your number real quick, please?
213 305 9368.
Okay. I'm sending that over now. But yeah, and then last week we just did, or last weekend we did our coffee, grab a cup with the assembly member over in Mar Vista. And that's something that we're going to do every month at a different coffee house in the district. So we did Mar Vista last weekend. And so I don't know where we're going next, but I will be sure to keep you guys up to date. If you guys know any cool, coffee or donut shops in West Adams district, let me know so I can submit it for
for consideration.
Yep. And that's pretty much it. I just texted the flyer to Ms. Spears, and it's going to be starting at 6:00 on Monday at New Earth. And I really hope that you guys can show up.
And is it just in person or can you join remotely?
You know, somebody else asked me that. Let me follow up on that. But like the main push is to be in
Is to
person.
be there in person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the name again? New Earth Church?
No, New Earth is a, let me see.
I don't know why my brain just started.
That's the
I just heard
event.
I heard new and then it filled in the
Yeah,
blanks.
New Earth is the event.
Okay.
No, New Earth is,
Location.
they're a mentor-based, so they provide mentor-based arts and educational / vocational programs
Okay.
to empower youth 13 to 25.
And they're in Culver City. Okay.
Yeah, they're in Culver City. Parking is going to be street parking. And then there's also a in every table restaurant across the street that's closed on Monday. So we're seeing if we can use their parking lot. That'll give us about 25, 30 spaces, you know. But the street parking after 6 o'clock, the meters are shut off.
And did you want to ask, give them a suggestion, Candace?
Oh, yeah. So, hi, this is Candace here, and I live in Jefferson Park, so I'm always working from a coffee shop. So I know Assemblymember Bryant knows about South LA on Jefferson.
Mhm.
So that'd be a good one to meet people that's in our footprint. If we could be so selfish and have you in our footprint.
I second that.
Oh, I know. We actually just awarded South LA Cafe Small Business of the Year for the 55th district.
Oh,
That's nice. So
Yeah.
I think that would be a good spot to host people.
That actually we're looking at making that the second place. Now,
Okay.
I know everybody knows South LA Cafe. Me, I want
Right.
to find somewhere that nobody knows in the West Adams district that's just, and we just put them on the map. That's my dream. But we'll see.
Okay.
There's Alibi with it has parking, which helps, but there's also Blue Elephant on,
I love Blue Elephant.
on
There's
Washington.
many
And there's
cafes.
parking nearby that, so parking's always an issue if you're gonna get.
Blue
well,
Elephant.
let's not take the time now. Submit it to Herman
I love
and let's continue on with our meeting. Herman, was there anything else?
You know what? That's it. If you guys don't have anything else for me, I'm going to put my contact information in the chat.
Thank you.
You know our office. We handle any state matters. If you have EDD issues or disability, or if it's a function that we don't handle, which might be city, we can still connect you to the right person. We're just a resource, and we're here to help. So I'll put my office phone number as well as email in the chat right now.
Thank you. And
Herman
you're not
Hunt.
just a resource.
This is Laura. I just re-arrived and Teresa has another question or comment.
I do. First of all, Herman, what was Dolores talking about this installation? We want to hear about that, and congratulations. And then also, I noticed that Assemblymember Bryan is the chair of the Natural Resources Committee.
Yes. Yep.
And I have some thoughts and ideas I'd like to share with you and share with him regarding trees and the urban forest here in LA. So maybe we can have a conversation, or I can email you and we can talk about it.
Laura, let's get it on the calendar if you email me, and I'd love for you to come by.
Oh, sorry, it's Teresa, not Laura.
Oh, it's Teresa. My bad.
Yeah.
Laura simply announced that she was back.
Oh, okay, yeah. Teresa, it would be great. Email me, let's get it on the calendar, and I'd love for you, and if you're working with a group or whatever, come down to the district office and let's discuss it.
Okay, that sounds great. Okay, and then what's this other thing Dolores was talking about?
You know what? That's more of a personal thing. I'm not going to use my state time for it, but New Frontier Democratic Club is the oldest Black Democratic club west of the Mississippi. And we're doing our 64th annual installation gala. It's going to be at the Universal Sheraton. And I'm being installed. Huh?
Well, congratulations.
Much appreciated.
What was the position you're being installed for?
second vice president in charge of events and fundraising, and looking to take them to the next level. Again, like I said, they are an older group, and but they do great work.
They
So
need it.
who said that, Dolores?
Yes.
No, it was me. They need some
Who
fresh,
else?
fresh young blood in there.
Yeah, if they let me operate, I'll get something done.
Oh, you will. Because
That's
we're going to be
another
bugging you.
conversation.
For sure. But I'm always here to serve y'all, and you got my contact information. And Teresa, please give me an email so we can have you come down to the office.
Okay, thank you very much, Herman.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
Thank you for coming, Herman.
Yes, ma'am. Have a good one.
Are we in general public comments?
Yes, we are.
Are there any other general public comments? Okay, did we do any sort of introductions?
No.
Yes. Oh shoot! Wait a minute. I just had it. The Los Angeles Sentinel in Mothers in Action is sponsoring what do you call it? A shredding event where you can bring in dispose of oil and some other things, other stuff. It's going to be on March the 23rd.
High speed chase. It was on TV before I went.
Is that right?
Hang on a minute, Dolores.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't
4,
hear.
5, 6 of them?
Maybe
Oh,
more.
and the helicopter too.
Okay. Oh, there we go. We just witnessed a high-speed chase. Go ahead, Dolores.
Really? Happenings around town.
Yep, that's one of them. That's not what you meant, though.
Oh, I'll put it in the chat. I can't pull the flyer up now.
Well, in addition to the one you were about to tell us, happenings around town, the hazardous waste disposal and shredding, this Saturday there are 2 others for sure that I know about. One is at the Jefferson Branch Library, a book sale, and the other is here in the park. I can't pronounce this well, the Extravaganza, which is it's a non-Easter, it's a spring egg hunt and fun thing sponsored by the South Seas House, and UNNC will have a booth there. I will also, Dolores, do a MailChimp, e-blast with all 3 of these events, and if there's anything else.
Okay, I found the flyer. It's a community recycling cleanup event, March 23rd from, and waste disposal. Waste disposal is from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And the shredding event is from 9 to 12:30 only. 33 gallon trash bags per customer at 3800 Crenshaw Boulevard. I guess that's going to be in front of the Sentinel newspaper.
Yes. Yes, I saw that one.
Okay. Any other?
Another Tabor Family Spring Fest. That's on Saturday, March 30th. And that is in conjunction with CD10. And the address for this is Michelle and Barack Obama Sports Complex, 5001 Obama Boulevard. And they're having
That's behind Dorsey High.
yeah. It doesn't say what, it just says Spring Fest. I don't know what that includes.
And the date was March 30th?
Yes. And another Spring Festival and Community Resource Day on March 22nd. That is from 3:30 to 6 p.m. Music, games, crafts, local businesses, community organizations, free resources, 7001 South St. Andrews Place in LA, 3:30 to 6.
That's really deep stuff. Yeah, but here's the number 17.
Sarah, do you want me to put all this in the chat?
I think I got it.
Okay, that's it.
I need to not at all already.
All I know about it.
But I do
That's
try.
a lot.
Okay. Any other general public comments. Okay, moving on. We have executive committee business, secretary's report, minutes, and I know I have to find them. Sorry, sir.
You want to X that one? Whoops.
Definitely want to exit this window. I want to exit that window, and then I want to share.
All right, last month's minutes. We had our opening, pretty typical. Public comments, executive business. Yeah, you got it. Okay. We spoke more on SB 411. Spoke about the possible bylaws amendments. Had some conversation about the next governing board meeting and adjourned.
Yeah, that was a quick meeting, wasn't it?
It was, well, yeah, it was a lot of,
Oh, no,
it was a lot of discussion, but it
Never mind, it certainly
Yeah,
wasn't
no.
a quick meeting.
it was a lot of discussion, but it was not the kind of meeting where everything goes in the minutes, so it's all right.
Got it. So, is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I move to approve the minutes.
Second,
Acclamation.
all in favor?
Okay.
Okay, minutes are approved. I'm stopping the share. Treasurer's report.
Yes. So, I have an update here on, our, Project Pit. So Project Pit has been turned in, still working with, Ignited Light to get the budget, because there's a section for budget. So since we switched it a little bit, I want to make sure that everything's right so that when I turn it in. But what I did do is I turned in the BAC and the amount so that the amount is set aside. So we won't accidentally do that. So as I was looking at all the MPG stuff, to date, we have spent $6,750. That's all the MPGs that we've done. So that's the way back to Amazing Grace, ACLA, Friends of Jefferson Park, and Project Pit and Ignited Light pending, right? So all that together is $6,750. But remember, we voted to move $2,400 from insurance to this category. So we have $1,650 going in MPGs.
So,
Yes.
if we were to approve tonight's MPG, we have to move money around again,
Yes,
which we have
which is
money.
fine, because we
Right.
have, there's $20,000 left
Ish.
in our operation budget.
Right, so we would need to be prepared after we have this later discussion for a recommendation to the board, for,
On what to move to.
well, you get to make the recommendation on what to,
Okay.
but that we are gonna move something, we'll have to put on the agenda.
So that's it, and then, I saw the Zoom Weeble thing, so I was doing math on the Zoom
Oh.
Weeble. Yes, so I saw that, right? Because I was.
Zumwinkle.
Zoom-
Was I like
I
Zoom?
call it Zoom
Well, I'm not sure what it is, but I was thinking Zoom.
I've been
What
calling
is a Zoom?
It just sounds adorable.
Right, so, I know that there's
Our
some,
web management.
some stuff going on with the contract there, because I realized, like, wait a minute, I haven't got an invoice, so I'm making sure that it's not me. That it's
In this
that
case,
it's-
I have an update on that. It is not you, it was not us, it was Ann Zumwinkle.
Okay.
Or Zumwinkle.
That just sounds
Because what happened is that her insurance broker left Merriweather, which is the city recommended brokerage.
Oh.
Apparently, upon the leaving, also didn't renew Ann's insurance. So she's been working to get it re-renewed,
Okay.
having lapsed, which is always a bad thing. It is done. So she got the certificate and it was uploaded to the city on Friday.
Okay.
And she's signing a new waiver and this has to be repackaged, but it seems to be, that everything is now okay and then she's billing again. But for the same total amount for the year, because she's continued to work.
Right, yeah, so she has, did the math on that, and to date, we have paid her $1,968, and so she still has about $3,400 left on her contract. So, yeah. And that's the update.
Are we behind on that?
Well, we can't pay her.
Yeah, we can't pay her.
Until, and then will we be doing like a lump sum, or will
Yeah.
just be
She's
putting in
gonna-
5 invoices?
She has to put in her monthly invoices.
Yeah.
So how the clerk pays, we don't know.
Okay, but if she gives us 5 or 6, we'll be able to do them all at the same time?
Yeah, we can,
Okay.
so you can just upload them as long as I have the VAC that approves the original expenditure, which I have, then it's just a matter of uploading the invoice in the batch VAC.
Right, because what they needed and now will have or have is that BAC. I mean, broadly speaking, not just on what Candace does,
Right.
but in a different folder related to the contract. They're gonna keep the original contract, even though it's dated 2019, because our new funding clerk did not realize that every year we amend the scope of work description. So she hadn't realized that.
Okay.
So she now has that again. She has the VAC approving that.
Okay.
And the admin VAC, I mean, it's the whole thing.
Yeah. And then I did see that there's some update with tree care, so I was wondering if
That's on the
that's,
agenda.
okay, so never mind. But that's it for now.
So Laura's report. We're moving on to Vice President's report. On training.
Oh, hold on a
actually-
second, 1 second. For the treasurer's report, I just wanted to report, I got my check for my reimbursement from the city.
Yay! I got mine as well.
I saw something on that. I don't remember what I was looking at, but I
Great,
saw something on that.
okay. And we are gonna try and avoid having board members stick out their own money, because it is simpler for us to do, well, not simpler for Teresa and me, but simpler for.
No.
Do the credit card.
Turned out
Teams.
work out well for me last meeting. I just called Laura and she pulled out the credit card and we got our refreshments.
Yeah, well, this is also on the agenda later on about how to really handle it, but we're gonna try in terms of reimbursements versus the credit card, we'll try and do it via the credit card as we can.
All right.
Okay, so now Vice President's report, on training, I was just gonna look at Chris for a second. They had not updated it online, but you got contacted saying they were.
I was told directly that they were gonna process it within that day, and that's when I called you the next day to say, does it clear?
Okay,
It has not.
so essentially what we're seeing on our training is that everyone at the moment is up to date with the exception of visibly Chris, but she has been told that they are gonna accept that she took the training. And Sho King, who's been now non-responsive, who also had screenshots, but maybe not with the same clarity, and who had said she was gonna redo those 2 trainings. And then Ed Saunders still has to do anti-bias able. And otherwise, in this moment in time, we're okay, but that's a sliding thing. On attendance, unfortunately, it's the same couple of people, Chris, you probably can't afford to miss any more meetings, especially when we re-update the bylaws. And we have Sho King has missed too many meetings, and Diana is not so perfect. So,
Yeah, and I think once we approve the new bylaws, it'll be very clear to everybody. Within the fiscal year, you can, after 3 meetings, then more or less.
then you have to start telling us why.
Yeah.
And we can take an action or not take an action, but you have to tell us why. And in terms of anyone who needs a leave of absence, we also now will have clearer rules as soon as we have not just our board meeting, but turn in the bylaws thing and have it accepted. But I think we can proceed on that being acceptable. So, so that's my report.
I have a question.
Yes.
So the new training that came out, when do we have to Or is it out yet?
Well, as it turns out,
Ish.
it is not out, even though they said it is out, we have to do it by June 1, but that's gonna be not so feasible if they don't actually get it out and done. So that is the theory. The theory is by June 1, we will all be acknowledging the new code of conduct,
Okay.
and then that's the last time we have to. We won't have to do code of conduct every 2 years. And then ABLE is still there. No, the ABLE also doesn't have to be repeated, but it has to be done once. And then the new training is on gender identity, and that is not yet available, even though they also said June 1. So, I think if they don't get it available, it's not realistic to wait till mid-May,
We won't all be able to do it at the same time.
Yeah.
System will crash.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not just us, it's
The entire
99
state,
neighborhood
yeah.
councils,
Everybody.
2,000
There's no
people,
way.
yeah.
One more question?
Sure.
Is this the part where I point out that for our next general meeting, I have to be at a conference for work? How does that work?
No, you'll have, okay.
Is this the part?
No. Okay,
There's no
I mean, fine, we haven't gotten to this yet,
Okay.
but I do think we need to do a quorum check early.
That's a spring
for-
break week.
That April 4th may not, and, because Paula, you are gonna have some trouble with April 4th as well, is that correct?
I won't be there.
You won't be there,
Candace won't be there.
okay.
And it is a spring break week.
How many spring break weeks
Oh,
are
in LA there are like
Spring
6.
break is staggered.
That's the
No,
problem. Every
Depends
district has a
on
different
where
one.
it's- Depends on who's doing it.
because this is not irrelevant.
Mhm.
On the Today Show, the two lead anchors are on spring break with their children this week.
Colleges and some schools in the South have it as early as like early March,
Yeah,
but
God.
it goes into mid-April.
my Houston friends were on break last week.
Okay, well, we're gonna need to do a quorum check for the April meeting, because it's also true that other people have this embedded, so we'll just have to see. If we can't do the April 4th meeting, the next question I have, since we now are allowed to do a 100% Zoom meeting,
That's true.
should we do a special meeting at the end of this month just to get the bylaws, just
Oh, that's right.
we focused on the bylaws, because we got forgiveness to April 5. I don't know if we have forgiveness to some unknown date.
Yeah,
You want to do a quorum check at the same time then for whatever you're
Right.
thinking.
yeah.
That's
Because that may just be just as bad as
right.
April 4th.
I understand, but it would have, it would
But
just be 100% Zoom,
Yeah.
it'd be 30 minutes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there was really only one change.
Which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
Every conversation we're having is, but it's later on the agenda.
All right.
Okay,
So,
Paula, the next thing
Yes.
is the president's report. I didn't put anything specific, but do we have a president's report?
Not really. I did want to add, though, on the tail end of training, there is a neighborhood purpose grants training on Thursday, March the 21st. And I was thinking of taking that.
This Thursday.
Yeah,
What time is that?
and it is from 6 to 7:30. So, and then there is another one, March the 26th. That's on funding program and system portal training from 6 to 8. So do you
Right.
guys feel like that's something I should take, or?
Well, the second one is officers training.
Okay,
Financial office, no, that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing if several more of our board members took that training.
right,
Because, anything can happen, as we learned last year, to any one of us.
right.
So, and we need, to have people who are trained, who can be appointed to any of the financial positions is not a terrible idea.
Okay.
So,
All right. Well, I just wanted to announce that's my plan. And I don't actually have anything to report.
okay, all right. So, next item is the discussion regarding the Western Heights Neighborhood Community Improvement Project updates regarding tree removal and replacement on 21st Street. For those of us who are sitting in the room, I did hand out almost a year ago, proposed invoice. I don't know that it's the most relevant thing. What's relevant is probably what Chris and Teresa have to report. What do you guys want, what's the pleasure? Review the invoice or talk about the project? Chris, you each have different information. Okay, I'll just start. Last year, June 1st, which was the last day we could do this, we, in our budget scramble, trying to figure out how much money would roll over versus how much we needed to spend, we put in a check request to start the ball rolling on the Western Heights tree removal and replacement project. So the phase 1 is remove 8 existing trees that are in bump out tree wells that are on 21st Street by the freeway wall. And the 9th bump out, there is no tree, it died already and seemingly was removed. And that was an invoice for $2,575. What ended up happening is that there was questions about a permit, do we have that? There were other questions. And what happened is, with a lot of emails back and forth and a couple of Zoom meetings with the clerk and then last time's financial officers, it was agreed that they would encumber the funds specific to this invoice and this project. So it's not rollover money. It is an amount of money that is pre-designated for this tree removal stump grinding project. So we had to, and we did at the last board meeting, vote a new BAC to use this year's funds, but it's for an encumbrance, which is an unusual thing. They very seldom allow it. They did allow it the first year of COVID, but it's not the normal procedure for neighborhood council. So we are facing a deadline. I don't think they're going to keep encumbering it year to year to year. So meanwhile, we still haven't received any permits to remove the trees. And I'm using the royal we, but this is the end of my part of the story. So I do need either Chris or Teresa to take up the storytelling.
Well, Teresa has the most up-to-date information from the Department of Urban Forestry, if I'm not correct.
Sure. So to remove 3 or more trees, there's a process and it requires approval from the Board of Public Works. It requires a CEQA variance. It's a process. But the trees are unhealthy. They never really took off, and Urban Forestry evaluated them. So instead of giving us a permit to remove the trees, which was initially requested by Chris, they are now
creating a different process.
Yeah, well, what they're saying it's
Order to comply.
in order to comply to remove the trees, because not only are the trees not thriving, but there's some poisonous plants that are planted adjacent to the trees in the tree well. So Western Heights should be getting a notice to comply, and once they do, they will then be able to hire this company to officially remove the trees.
Right. And then we do not know if we are or are not going to be required to do 24-inch box trees to plant.
Yeah, no, we can't put,
Well, you have a report on this anyway.
Well, we don't know when this order is going to come, but in a proactive, we are putting together a meeting of homeowners on the 21st Street block.
Well, I thought you had a report about the trees.
Well, I'm giving you my report.
Okay.
Okay, and this, because the homeowners, one of the first things is, over time, the trees have been on the ground over 20-some years, people just stuck little other things in because the trees weren't. So there are pencil plants, which are poisonous. There are lavenders, just a mishmash. So we put the word out, we have extra buckets. Any homeowner who has a plant, they want to rehome, we will make sure it can get out. And then we will have the pencil plants, if someone does not want to take them onto private property, they will be disposed of. So there is no poisonous residual on the city planting. It was communicated to me that the urban forestry has now suggested that they want to see a tree called a desert willow.
But you mentioned two different trees.
Two arborists who came out to the site early on made recommendations from the city tree list of two species that they thought would do well in that spot. Because we wanted to make sure we put a tree in that was going to have the best possible future. But if urban forestry is going to insist on desert willow, I went out to Boothing Treeland on Sunday to find out everything I could about desert willow, what they have available. Our initial grant was all based on 15-gallon because arborists will tell you that if you put a 15-gallon tree in 5 years, it will be healthier, bigger, and better than a 24 because it has time to put that root base in. But if the city's going to insist on 24-inch box, then we hit a financial wall because the retail price of desert willow is $515 per 24-inch box, where the previous trees were running $150 to $167 for 15 gallons. So I've put a call out to a couple other professional landscapers, and they're going to work through their wholesale suppliers to see if they could secure the trees, because there is a problem actually getting 8 of the desert willow at the 24-inch box size.
But I think the 15-gallon would be fine. I know that in that initial document, that's what, that is also the recommendation.
15-gallon, there's no problems. 24, it turns out there are supply issues for, and there's 2 types of desert willow that most people are about, what's called the burgundy. And then there's the Bubba, and the Bubba has an advantage that it doesn't have these messy seed pods. And since this is over along city streets, there's less cleanup for the city. Also, the Bubba has the added advantage that soon as it starts to bud out for the leaves, the flowers are very fragrant, but the Bubba has that fragrance as the leaves, so it's fragrance for like, 8 months of the year. Whereas the burgundy, it's only when the flowers on, and they're very good for birds and insects. And once they're in the ground, they only need to be watered according to Boothing with tree bags for 6 to 9 months, and then you don't water them at all. They are absolutely established, and so it would not be years of watering. But the other thing that comes into play, we are ready to move forward to extract and prepare the ground and get the roots and the trunks ground out. But when asked at Boothing, what is the best planting, they actually would ideally like to wait a year because all the chippy material actually has to break down. Otherwise, it's stealing oxygen from the soil, and that way you have a better, but it can go in, they can go in earlier. The real question is, since only the removal was encumbered, we don't necessarily immediately have access to the funds to purchase the trees because it was 2 BACs, back in the day. So that's everything I know. And it's good to hear that we might be able to roll with 15-gallon because that helps dramatically.
I think that'll be fine. And I guess my suggestion would be to wait, actually. I mean, to remove as soon as you get the notice to comply, and I'm not sure if that's coming to you, Chris, or Western Heights. But then to remove them and allow the breakdown of those chips, and then next spring or winter.
Yeah, next fiscal year.
But I'm thinking
next fall would be the time to put them in.
The rainy season would be the time, and then maybe we could provide additional funds, but that's. Yeah.
So the money that's encumbered is for the removal, but not for the planting.
Grinding up the
That's
trunks
what the money's for.
and preparing the ground.
Do you guys need to see the invoice, anybody?
No,
Okay.
Oh, I didn't really have to see it. It's just like a curiosity, like, oh, that sounds very expensive. It sounds like more. So it's okay. So the money is to take it out, and then you have to let basically.
Well, the money is to take it out, but also grind the stump.
Grind the stuff and then kind of prepare the soil. for
And I really think when they go in to take it out, it's probably, the roots are probably gonna still be in that same
Yeah,
container.
they-
They didn't go out, they never really thrived in that space, so I
Way
think it's
back,
gonna be, you know.
way back in the day, this is way back when Stevie Stern was like the very beginning of UNNC, and they picked the gold medallion tree, which is not a bad species, but one of the things that at a community meeting in Western Heights, I had suggested that the people on the team go out to their tree supplier and hand pick their stock to inspect to make sure you didn't have the circling roots and stuff. That actually did not happen. And so the tree stock had some issues before it even went in the ground. And as you can see, they're just, and they never.
And he did mention that it maybe was bad nursery stock.
Yeah, it was bad nursery stock.
Okay, so.
But
All
it
right,
was a
so our plan would be, we're gonna hopefully get this sooner rather than later this quarter.
Yes, well, but now you're gonna,
Right, and then
because we can't pay him, are you gonna talk about?
I'm gonna talk about that, but so for you. Well, the invoice says he wants to be paid in advance. The city policy is we don't pay until the work is done, but we may be able to get a deposit.
Okay.
So what you should probably ask Anna is, are we gonna be allowed, because it's encumbered money, to do a deposit and a final check? I mean, does it have to be one check or can it be two?
Does he say how much? Is it like half?
No, he
No,
didn't
he
say
says-
anything. He says 100%, give it to me.
Okay.
So that's not
Question.
happening.
because Western Heights also committed 2,000, we had 2,000 matched to our UNNC monies. Is it at all possible that Western Heights pays the tree removal and submits an invoice for reimbursement? Okay.
No.
that
No,
was-
that was always the thing, we can't pay Western Heights.
Okay,
So is it really $4,000 for the tree removal?
no.
No,
it's-
she's trying to figure out how to get around the.
The original grant was for tree removal and tree purchase.
Oh, I
And-
see.
and-
Okay.
yeah,
So
and
you're,
only half
you
got
hang
covered.
on to your money for the tree
Yep.
purchase, just because there's also gonna be tree water, and
Yep.
we're not even
Yeah.
talking about the tree watering portion.
I'm just trying to
But-
figure out how to
but
get
this-
an invoice through this.
No, the only invoice is going to LA Tree Care, so we're gonna need to find out via. Yeah,
Deposit.
well, can we even do it via deposit? If the answer is no, if we have to wait till all the work is done to write a check, then we'll talk to you guys about spotting and having Tree Care LA reimburse you when you get the check.
Or I
Because
could
it
reach
can't
out to
be
Tree
us.
Care, because they're,
Yeah, that's
they've
what I'm
been in the
saying.
business for 35 years.
Well, you said that, and you
Yeah,
said they
they've
work for
done-
the
they've worked
city.
for the city.
So the
I could
city
even
never pays in advance.
Offer them a personal check that they hold
That's
of
what I'm
mine
saying.
until they, and then
Till we get
return my
back.
check.
Right,
So it can all happen, because no one
Right.
wants to hang anybody else to dry.
Correct. And Anna already has this invoice because you uploaded it, right? And then I see a big exclamation mark on the portal. Okay. So,
One more question. When I email her, just ask if we can do any down payment, or is there a thought on?
Why can't we just ask them first? Say, hey, we can't give you a check until until you do the work. Is that gonna be a problem?
well, you
I'll
should
reach
ask.
out, and,
Yeah.
and this is their standard certificate of insurance. Do you guys need a copy of
That
that?
might be a good idea.
That is.
Does it say to LA?
Well, they will,
I'll take a picture.
it's
of it.
their standard certificate, and I'm sure they
And put it on.
add to whoever
Yeah, there's always a
But anyway.
insurance component.
Yeah, that's the proof that they carry insurance for all of their, so you can, I have two of those, I brought one extra for you guys, so.
I'll just take your pictures.
Okay, good. So I'll give them a call tomorrow and we'll discuss,
The manner in which payment can
Payment.
happen.
and
Well,
also,
it'll be a check. I mean, it's not gonna be a credit card.
right, no,
This has to be a
they can
check.
take a check, that was one reason why we went with a city approved vendor, so.
Okay. All right, next item on the agenda is a funding request. Are we done with this, right? It's funding request, it's a NPG, which is neighborhood purpose grant request from the Rediscover Center to support family workshop series, requesting $2,000. And Kate is here to explain it, but basically Rediscover Center serves youth throughout Los Angeles with sustainable STEAM and maker. She'll explain what the word maker means here. Education resources, because I used to say DIY crafts.
You still can.
And this is the organization that's opened a new center, not closing the old one, just one more, in the same building where we have our governing board meetings. So in the space just to the east of the community room. And we, UNNC, have partnered with them in a couple of public events, Sequoia, partners, not the right word, but we boothed also at the avenues, someplace else, I'm really forgetting. But anyway, one of our community partners at these events, our event, last year's Earth Day,
Yep.
the only booth that had visitors. So sad. Anyway, this funding request is to help support a 12-week summer family crafting program. It begins on June 8th. The workshops will be free for families, providing hands-on visual art and maker activities using sustainable materials. And again, here in the room, and I will bring it up onto the screen. We do have the application. And
Yeah.
Kate, go ahead.
Yes. So first I want to thank you for having me here. I am also going to leave some of these postcards that have a little bit more about who we are and our mission statement. Just really quickly, we were founded in 2004. Should I stop while you pull that up?
No, go ahead.
Okay. We were founded in 2004, and our goal, and it's a goal that I feel really personally connected to as an educator, is to put real tools in the hands of kids. We're the only nonprofit makerspace that does that. So we're the only people in LA who will give kids drills, saws, clamps, chop saws, jigsaws, and you better believe it, those 7-year-olds are building tables right alongside you. And I didn't know how to do woodworking before. This is a new passion for me, and it has absolutely changed my life. And it is so empowering to see kids master a tool. And what's really special about the Mid-City location, and something that really made me attracted to Rediscover Center in general, is the Mid-City location is in 2375 West Washington Boulevard, which is supportive seniors housing. So there's this great opportunity to create multi-generational learning. So we have the elders and the youth coming together, which has always been a big passion of mine in terms of my own 20-year career in education. And so having that happen every Saturday. And so these are actually, they're free drop-in programs, and they happen from 10 to 4. We've had up to 60 people attend. We're just starting. And so this would support our June cohort of dates to make sure that we can continue to have this free drop-in programming into the summer. And it's been really incredible for a few reasons. One is that a makerspace is not just a makerspace. It's not just about what you're making, it's also community building. Mm-hmm. And so to be in that space with elders and youth together, families, people meeting new friends and seeing old friends, it's been a really, really incredible space to activate. And we just feel so honored to be in this community that has such a rich arts community already, such a rich cultural community already. And the message of Rediscover is really, it's about sustainability first and foremost. We don't buy anything, we rely entirely on donations. So we are making art and science projects from things that have been discarded. And the message there is that art is everywhere and everyone can do it. And the message there is also that every resource is precious. And I think those messages are really important for all generations. Actually, our grandmothers knew, but to make sure that message keeps going. And so I have some postcards. I can tell you more about our classes. Just let me know what you would like to know.
Well, I think we should also point out that you're having an event on April 21st, which is a Sunday.
Our Earth Day Art Fest, our grand opening. That's correct.
Right. So even though you're open, you're having an official grand opening.
Yes.
And,
Yes. We don't tell anyone that we have somewhat been open.
right. So, and I already know that we've been invited to have a table,
Yes.
not as payment for this.
But then also, like, come on over and come see the space and
Right.
come see what's going on
Right.
as well.
But also, I think Amazing Grace is participating.
Absolutely, yeah.
And
I'm in
they're even
conversation
doing
with
some
Jackie about
performances,
that.
so it's like kind of a big, that's a big deal, this is a big deal, so, you know.
Yeah, and that will be a free art making, collaborative art making, art fest. So celebrating Earth Day, but also celebrating our new location in Mid-City and our new Mid-City family. So we'll have LA-based artists personing 4 different tables. We'll have Amazing Grace Conservatory come sing. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty special.
Okay, so what I wanna do, the NPG, which is online as well, it's really gonna be hard for us to read it, but I wanna move to the next page, which is the money, because we're here to discuss money.
Do you need me to exit or am I?
No.
Okay.
We need you to be here.
Okay.
So the request is for $2,000. They filled the budget, it gets a little confusing the way this works, but all those other amounts are not being asked of us. What's being asked of us is on 6A and 6B, which is partial. You know, $750 for a program manager, $750 for a teaching artist, $500 for art supplies, and even though marketing is part of the budget, no money for the marketing. Although I think we'll do some marketing, you know, on our own channels. And anyway, so questions, comments?
You know, I'd like to make a motion to approve the recommend to the governing board $2,000 for this project. Is there a second?
Yeah, is there a second?
Second.
Yes.
Discussion?
I just wanted to say on the application, it was really good to see the other organizations that are assisting, Herb Alpert Foundation, Creative Recovery LA, and then individual donations. I just, that, you know, I want to applaud you. You've gone out to seek funding from many different sources, and I'm happy that we will be able to help if we vote.
So I'm stopping the share now.
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? Okay, all in favor, only officers may vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Okay, so,
Woo-hoo.
so,
Yeah.
no,
Congratulations.
woo-hoo, but, but we'll go to, whoa.
Yeah.
I'm not too
Yeah. Right now it's just a whoop.
Okay. But we will have to make sure we have quorum.
Sure.
So,
Yes.
so the April 4 meeting might not be an April 4 meeting.
Okay.
You know, so to vote on this.
Okay.
Be posted.
We'll keep you posted. But we will have to vote on it no later than the May board meeting.
If there's a all Zoom meeting at the end of this month for the
Yes.
bylaws, could this be addressed? Because the sooner they know, the better, because their day
Yeah, of
is.
course. Well,
That can
we
happen.
need to see if we can
Yep,
do
I know.
that. I mean,
It's all
sometimes,
conditional.
it's all conditional, and usually we can do a Zoom special meeting when we promise 30 minutes.
Yes.
So then, Paula, that would mean we're not inviting, say, government officials to do 30 minutes of
Oh, no.
chit chat. Yeah. Okay, next item on the agenda is teleconference.
So, since we have now gone through the SB 411, we know that we have the opportunity to achieve quorum on Zoom. We're gonna have executive committee members meet in person.
And anyone else.
And anyone else, certainly anyone else, but we know that there will be at least, you know, the 5 of us. And we're gonna stay at Gramercy Place. We need to talk about possibly getting another teleconferencing system to store at Gramercy.
Right, and one which we own,
Right.
because we don't own this one.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we own the TV, but we don't own the owl. Owl?
No, Polycom.
Polycom.
Which, by the way, Polycom is now being purchased by Hewlett Packard, and I can't even find that one anywhere.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so,
Changes so quickly.
I went on. Or you can leave, Kate. I saw her this morning at 9:30. She's had a long day,
You are,
so, yeah. But thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
So we need to talk about if we want, do we want to get another system? Maybe someone else can do the research and try to do that.
Right, and we could do it this fiscal year or next fiscal year.
Yeah.
I mean, we.
But in the meantime, I'm still gonna be lugging this back and
Right,
forth.
which is the pain in the,
Yeah.
Yeah,
difficult for Teresa.
Well,
Well, it'd be difficult for
And-
anyone,
and
even if we
she-
found a different person, it'd still be
right.
hard.
so.
You
and now
gotta, you
that-
gotta get there, you gotta get it, you gotta make sure you bring everything. And so I don't think we're being frivolous asking for another system. That we purchase equipment needed, I
Yeah,
think
the only thing that's
perfectly in order.
needed, I think, is, I mean, we don't need to buy another computer, this can move easily from place to place.
Right,
We don't need to buy another television because the facility has television.
so it's
Yeah.
just really
The cords.
this teleconferencing bar.
And cords.
But these cords all stay here.
Right, and we get
That's what
different cords.
Right.
We're there, yes.
So, Dolores.
Dolores, you have your hand up?
I just wanted to piggyback on what President Paula just said. I've been watching Teresa diligently cart this equipment back from one place to the other for what, the last year?
Yeah.
From one building to another. And I just believe that we need to get stationary equipment for both locations. And so she can take the load off of her. I mean, she has been volunteering to do, she developed the program, she researched the program, she's carting the program, she's training everybody on the program. Get a girl a break, buy some more equipment.
And so are you making that a motion?
Yes.
And I'm
She can't.
and I'm seconding, doing
Well,
the
okay.
second.
The mover is Laura and Paula's the second.
But I have
Okay.
to find, now I need to find it because the one that we have here is no longer available. So I just need to, there seem to be some other, in the teleconferencing systems, the technology is moving quickly,
Yeah.
but I want to make,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Well, we don't necessarily
More
want it
sensitive.
smaller, we want it, it may be physically smaller, but it needs to deal with a bigger
bigger
room.
room, yes.
Yeah, you bet.
So, so I will look into that, and try to come back with something.
And if anybody else also wants to do research, she said quietly, can anybody else do research?
I don't know, but once we get the new one, then I'm,
Yeah,
somebody else is gonna have to
Okay.
set it up every meeting or do whatever.
right.
And I have a person to do that, when we
Right.
get to that.
And the answer to the question about is it safe, secure storage, I think I would ask, can they store it in the office and not in a closet?
Yeah, because we've had things.
Yeah, I'm
walk
just
in the-
saying.
Yep.
But I'll talk to them about that because,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna do some research and try to come up with something on that.
Okay,
Can we vote?
so, yeah, we do, the
Oh.
motion is to recommend to the governing board, and up to $2,000. And if it turns out to be more money, we'll just have to do.
Yeah, I don't think, this was 800,
Right,
so.
And Paula seconded,
I don't
Right.
think
so
it's
we
gonna
should
be.
do our.
so all
Yeah.
in favor? Only office, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Dolores, you can
bylaws
take your hand
amendment.
down.
No,
Yes.
this is for another comment.
Oh.
Okay,
I heard Laura say, asking asking if the equipment can be stored in the office.
Mhm.
Do we need to buy?
at Gramercy Apartments, that office,
Oh,
instead of the closet in the conference room.
okay.
Just under the watchful eyes all the time instead of some of the time, that's all. Just in the office. The answer may be no, we may be needing to use the closet.
do we need to in their closet in the
Their
office?
closet or their office, yes.
That c-
Right now, we have supplies our supplies are in their closet.
Do we
Which
need to
is
purchase a
locked.
storage place for it in their
No,
office,
Okay.
a storage cabinet?
oh, well, I don't know. I don't know, but let's cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah, well,
That's
we'll ask,
a good
maybe-
idea, Dolores.
Yeah,
you know, I know that that closet is normally locked. Even at the end of our meeting, when I go to try to put some of the empty boxes, it's locked. So,
so it's probably fine.
it's fine, but maybe if we're willing to get a storage cabinet in her office to store it, that might encourage her
Yeah.
to
With
allow
a
it to.
lock, yes.
Yeah,
Okay. So these are the details. We think 2,000's enough money.
yeah.
And we don't know if we have 2,000, we understand.
No. That's not what I'm saying. So we're looking for a video conference bar, right? Like
Yes.
that one?
Yeah.
Well, but, okay, she's already researching.
I'm already looking at it. We may
So-
need a little more, cause
Oh.
the ones I see for a large room.
But remember, this one is made for a small room. We
So we can do
we
a
can,
small room?
Yeah.
What do we
Well-
think? Are we trying to upgrade?
we're trying
because
to upgrade a
larger room?
little bit, but not to accommodate 50 people. So this is supposed to be for 10 to 12 people, but we have, it works.
20 to 25 would be great.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the least expensive one I saw on this
But you
website.
get large room, yeah.
It was just large, well, I'll take this off.
Amazon, is that yearly or something like that?
She's just, I was just
Generically
looking,
looking.
and the least expensive one I saw was $2,200. It goes up
Yeah.
from there.
No, there's one for 1,100.
Yeah.
What, tell me the names,
But-
tell me the names.
Hold on, let me see. There was a Logitech one.
Oh, Logitech.
Mhm. I just was kind of looking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
let's
that
not
was the
shop
one that
now.
was in there.
Yeah,
Come on, let's
yeah,
get back
that's
to the
right.
meeting.
Bylaws amendments
Yes.
is the next item.
So from the last meeting, there was only one change that the governing board recommended, and that was,
The amendment, the section on
the
amendments.
section on amendments, the number that's required to make a motion to amend the bylaws. And Alfonso said that cannot, Grace mentioned that, why don't we have it be a percentage? And he said, no, we have to have a static number,
Yeah,
a fixed number. So the fixed number is going to be 13. So 13 have to approve the motion to amend the bylaws, not just quorum, but actual 13 members
Right.
have to do
And
it.
that's not this time, that would be once our recommended changes are made.
So
The
for
next
instance-
2 years from now, the next time, if somebody wants to amend our bylaws again, it's a slightly different process. So currently,
It's
we're-
16.
It's 16, so that's the other thing about quorum issues. So we better do a Zoom special meeting, because I think we have a higher chance of getting.
Right, and we have to do it because during a done meeting, a webinar on the bylaws, they were all due April the 1st. And I asked Thomas Sung, I said, we're not gonna have our meeting until the 1st, can we do it on the 5th? That Thursday, the Friday, and he said, yes, because it's so close, I'll allow you to submit it on that Friday, so
Yeah.
we have to,
figure this out, but we will, because we're thinking positive, because otherwise the window closes, so we have to
It's
do
short
it.
and Zoom makes it easier for everybody.
Okay.
So with that, I
With
will
that.
leave you ladies.
Okay.
All right. So basically, we got next.
I think having one,
If
so
we
it doesn't
have
have to be
to
hauled
have
back
it
and
by
forth,
the
is a good idea.
Well, basically, we don't have a lot
Thank you,
of.
Chris.
No problem, thank you guys. Okay, we'll talk about, let's get through, I'll talk to Carrie. Okay. So,
before
we don't need-
Dolores gets started.
yeah, we don't need to take an action on this. Well, I guess we do. Technically,
Okay, I move that we make that one change on the bylaws,
and forward this to the governing
and forward
board
it to the governing
for
board
final.
for final approval.
Second.
Laura seconds. Okay, all in favor? Okay, everybody, thank you very much. But before we get started on Dolores, I want to bring up a funding situation. So the credit cards only allow a one-time purchase of $1,000. If it's going to be greater than that, you have to get approval from Anna, which I did for both items, the Print Depot canopy
I saw that.
and the t-shirts and the bags.
Okay.
So when I put all the information in and it went through, they actually do not run the credit card until they send the merchandise. So they do all the embroidery, they do all the printing, and then they send it out, and then that's when they charge. But the increase that I had was only until the 15th. So they did it after that. So Dolores received a call today saying, hey, we did your credit card and it didn't go through.
Oh, geez.
So I emailed Anna and I put it with the same string where I asked for permission to increase it and asked her, this is what happened. They didn't do it until after. Can she please go back and increase that? So I'm hoping that she does it. It's just like a thing. That she does it tomorrow morning, and then I will follow up with the guy. I sent him an email too saying, hey, this is, what.
Because we didn't anticipate that you would wait so long, but don't.
Well, I looked over the paperwork and it did say that we don't charge you until we get ready to mail it. So I probably should have asked her to wait until, or worked out with the representative, the customer rep who was doing our order, to find out the exact date they thought we were gonna get it, and then but anyway, so that's kind of in the limbo right now.
Yeah.
Okay, and how much was it? Cause I see the Print Depot.
Yeah. Yeah, I kept going in looking for it.
But Anna knows that we moved more money, cause I talked to her about that, and so
Okay.
she said it was fine, so she
Right,
has
but
to-
it changes what you think the amount of money we have is.
yeah.
How much money
So,
have you charged?
What, it was $1,700, but no, hold on just a second, Kim, $1,715, but they gave us a credit. They reduced the shipping or something, and so it came to 16 something, so I don't know the exact amount.
And was it one charge or are there two?
No, it's one charge for the bags and the t-shirts, and I emailed her
What
today.
about the tent? Is that still
That's a
happening?
separate, that's Print Depot, it's already been
Oh,
cleared.
got
Yeah,
it.
cause I uploaded
Okay.
them,
Yeah.
that's when I talked to you on Sunday.
No, I
was
didn't
like,
realize that Print Depot was doing a tent.
Yeah,
Yay.
yeah. We're still working on that design, but yeah. Anyway, so I was waiting for it to come in so I could upload my stuff, and it just didn't, so. Anyway, so that's gonna be, I can send out an email tomorrow, Candace, once that's cleared, so you'll be part of it. Okay, so that's that.
Okay. Number 7, proposed outreach event resources fair for Leslie Shaw Park in Jefferson Park.
It's in the drive,
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
or in the folder, I downloaded it.
Oh.
Here it is, yeah.
Okay, cool. No, I don't need it. No, I don't need that. Okay. No, I don't need this. Jeez. Okay, now. Huh. Okay,
Okay, Dolores, it's on you.
who's presenting this?
Okay, this is an event request to support the Resource Day in Leslie Shaw Park. The only expense that we would have would be a food truck. Teresa has checked with the city to find out what the requirements were. And so we're guesstimating a population of 150 to 200 people. So we're asking for up to 2,000. Is it 2,000 or up to 2,000? Go back.
2,000 on the form, but we can say up to 2,000.
Okay.
I did email Anna mentioning to her that we were planning this event, and she gave me the 3 documents that we have to have. Or I asked her if there is a food truck approved list, and she said, no, there isn't. But she said, here, and by the way, here are the documents you're gonna need, the health certificate, those documents, which I forwarded to Dolores, and she's working with the truck vendor to make sure they can meet all those requirements.
Okay, so Astrid is gonna,
I don't know, I needed to put somebody in, I
Got
left
it.
a message for her, she wasn't here.
got it,
I know that park, it's a pocket park.
right. It
So-
might be under,
No, they're under their own thing, the pocket park, so it could be actually Anita Meacham who
Right.
supervises them.
so Sandra, go ahead. Go ahead, Dolores.
Last year or year before last, they did not have a park director assigned to the pocket park. So there was a supervisor that was in charge, but I don't know if that's changed. That was like a year or so ago, a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when Sandra coordinated the movie in the park that
Yeah.
we provided, 2 years ago, not the one last year, but 2 years ago. Where UNNC had agreed to put on her application to Recreation and Parks that we were a partner. And so there was a person who was just a random supervisor who was the person who waived the insurance requirements and gave permission for the event.
Okay,
So, but that's a couple of years back, they've moved a lot of people around.
well, it could be because really the supervisor that oversees the pocket parks, all they're really doing is making sure the maintenance and things like that happen. But the reason why I thought it could be Astrid, because she's setting up the Community Park Advisory Committee, and that is also going to include Washington Library and Leslie
Okay,
Shaw.
well then,
Yeah, so but I didn't have a chance to talk to her, I need to
no,
get
that's
something in.
right,
Yeah.
we need to do something. So you think the only expense is gonna be the food truck, and we don't know what that is?
No.
That's okay. That's all right.
I've spoken with Eric at CD10 and requested 10 tables and 2 chairs for each table. He hasn't gotten back to me yet. I've been calling or sending emails on the website to various food trucks, and the only person that's gotten back to me so far was Nays Taco. I think they've been in the community before. I gave the information to the young lady, and the owner is going to get back to me tomorrow to see if they can accommodate. She said that they had serviced events for the city before, so that's a good thing, because I told her about the insurance as well as the health
certificate.
certificate. And I forgot, what was the third one, Teresa?
The health certificate, the insurance, and business
The
license.
BTRC.
Yeah,
Business
and
license.
Candace just said she's heard of them, they have good food.
My cousin, I think if this is the same days, I'll Google it real quick, but my cousin had them when her son graduated from high school, like 2 years ago or something like that. It was good.
Okay, so, dare I ask, should we also budget in this some water bottles, like a lot of them? Or ask the council office for water bottles? Or ask the city department that often brings water to events like this to bring water? That'd be good too.
What department brings water?
I trying to visualize, I mean, there was a department that's been bringing water, that it's like a water booth, and instead of being plastic bottles, they bring big things of water and you put your cup under and get the water.
Oh. I told the lady a taco and a drink,
Oh. Okay, well,
and she's gonna tell me, well, if it's over my budget, then I'll just cut out the drink and we can work out some water.
Well, right, I mean, in other words, we should have water, one
Okay.
way or another. I know people are now saying, don't use plastic bottles, water, not just because they're plastic, but also because they're plastic.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, because of the seepage or whatever it is that
Yes.
the leaching things.
Right, and I just learned how to drink more water in a day by having more plastic bottles available. Because I'm supposed to be drinking water, and so now I have to how to drink it differently. Okay.
But do we
And
think that that's,
I've spoken with so far 3 agencies that are interested, the Department of Aging in the city, Department of Disabilities. I've spoken with gas company, was it gas company? I think the
you
gas
said
company
gas, yeah.
and one other place. So there's interest to participate, so I'm
Sure.
on with that.
And I gave Dolores a long list yesterday.
Well, I will say the Office of Civil Rights has been very interested in participating in these events. And the
what do they
planning
have to
department also has
I gave her planning.
right, but they now have a subsection for civil rights.
Oh.
So they've been coming out to a lot of places too,
Okay,
for obvious different reasons.
Okay.
yeah, LADWP, I gave her just
Okay,
a long list.
A lot.
That's why I think we may need more than 10 tables, but we're gonna do a walkthrough to see how many tables and what, you know.
what would fit?
Yeah,
Okay.
so,
Well, it wouldn't be a horrible problem to have to turn people away. Departments, that would mean they respect us and they think we're gonna do a good job. How are we getting word out? Hunter was not able to attend your meeting, but did he?
The usual way, we haven't made a flyer yet. We have to work on that, and I'll just post it in the usual
Right.
places, in your email blast on the Facebook.
Right, well,
page.
and we have Instagram, but did we want to?
Sarah just volunteered to do it in Canada.
Hunter would do a better job.
And we can get, and we can still get Hunter
We need to
involved.
engage Hunter in this.
Please.
Yes.
But also, do we want to do print, I mean, they're expensive again, print postcards, not to mail, but to put in all the coffee shops, and see if South LA would partner with
I
Cafe.
don't think so. I think that's just a waste of paper. That's my opinion.
What, postcards?
Yes.
What about the flyers?
Flyers, I think, are wonderful.
Well, it's harder, in the local businesses, it's harder to get them to have stacks of flyers and easier to get them to have the little postcards because of the
Be put in the
space.
same place.
Yeah.
Can we
I
get a vote on it first and then continue the discussion?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, would we consider asking South LA Cafe to be a named partner, because they do a really
They're right
swell
there by the
job,
park too.
and they do a swell job of promotion. It's a thought.
A partner, how?
Do you know them, Laura?
Yeah.
they're all the time. You go, oh, okay. So, yeah, I think that's a good idea that we ask, if they want to partner, but really to promote this event. And Candace and Laura both said they know them pretty well, so between the two of them, they can
Right.
get them to help promote.
Right, and they do have a nonprofit arm if people are not comfortable having a for-profit partner.
Or do we have to get the food from them?
No,
It's
no.
however you want.
But they might want to have a coffee.
They're big
thing
on
there.
promoting the resources kinds of things, so I think that's where they would excel, because they would want to support that part, I think.
Yeah, okay, so we need to vote, we need a motion.
I'll move that, to recommend to the governing board that, we allocate up to $2,000 for an outreach event.
In Leslie Shaw Park. And I can second.
Okay.
Is there any further discussion?
Just to clarify, the only thing that has to be paid for in the budget, is the food truck.
That we
That's-
know of at the.
Right.
That's the only thing I can think of.
It could
Oh,
be-
except for, to print some flyers, once we get a flyer
Yeah,
together?
so it may be more than just the food truck.
Yeah. We're supposed to do this detailed budget.
We are, yeah,
Yeah,
to-
I just haven't done it yet.
Yeah,
Oh,
to,
yeah.
to turn it in, we need a detailed budget.
Yeah.
To vote on a BAC, we should have a semi-detailed budget. At the,
I will work with
Governing
Laura.
board.
Yeah, but I mean, in other words, the BAC does not have to reflect line item budget. It just has to reflect that we reviewed a budget.
Okay.
But to turn it actually in would have to have a real budget.
Okay.
And it does get stalled these days. I mean, I learned that, just for our CERT training thing, that when I turned it in with a draft budget, now they wanted a final budget, even though how could you possibly know what the final budget is for a series of 6 sessions with refresh.
Right.
And that argument did not hold water. Grace and I just had to make it up and give them a final budget. Okay, so this passes. Agenda items for next governing board meeting. I would say the following.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Welcome.
Dolores.
Thank you.
So if we're gonna have a special meeting, if we need to do that on Zoom, I think now we have 3 things, because I think this event will have to be on that one too. Just counting backwards 60 days.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think it's, it would be the bylaws, the MPG, and this event and nothing else.
Sounds right.
And then our regular board meeting would take up what we regularly take up.
And would that be like the 11th? The following?
Could be.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. We have to do a quorum check.
So we would have a special and then a week or so later, the regular.
Right, because otherwise the May meeting would be horrendous, because that's
Yeah.
also the last meeting we can approve most of our remaining budget items.
Okay.
So I don't think we'd want to just skip an April meeting.
No, I don't think so.
But in effect, it would be another special meeting. You know, so it could be almost any day. But
So it'll be two special.
well, I'm saying if it's not on our regular meeting night,
Oh,
it's a
gotcha.
special,
That'd be it.
it's deemed a special meeting. But I would not, I would not try to have a regular board meeting on Zoom at the end of this month. That's what I'm
I
trying to
see what you're
say.
saying.
I
So
think just very targeted.
two targeted meetings in April.
Well,
Will help.
one in March and one in April.
Yeah, this is March.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right,
Gotcha.
and the only reason we wouldn't skip an April meeting again is because if you look at your calendar, the May board meeting is the last time we can allocate most of our money if we still have money to allocate. In June, the only thing we could vote to spend money on would be things that could use a credit card. But we'd be past the time we could issue a check.
So let me just say, Thursday, the 28th, Dunn is having that ladies, women's leadership.
So that won't be the night of our
Yeah.
meeting. I do have a calendar.
Yes,
I have a calendar.
Can we talk about this on email?
Oh, sure.
The dates, just
Sure.
because.
Yeah, okay.
Just because it is
And then-
8:30.
Yeah, and then I just want to say, if we just appointed Hunter the communications director,
But not the committee chair.
not the committee, but the communications director. What is that and how, what are those responsibilities? Can we have it delineated? So is he going to be the person now communicating with Ann Zumwinkle about the website?
Yes.
I mean, I'd like to know exactly what
Right,
he's
well,
going to be
if you would
doing.
read the,
I know, you sent it, I know.
Right, but it does delineate what a communications director, although they call it the moderator. I mean, they have a
Okay.
title, but that's what we just,
And he knows that those are his
Yeah,
responsibilities?
yes.
And someone is mentoring him,
Well,
working with
right now-
Ann and all of the
right now,
different
we're
things?
still trying to get Raheem to actually talk to him.
Which
But-
he agreed to do.
Yes,
Okay.
but right now, when I'm sending all of it's baby steps, so any communication I'm doing with Ann and Raheem, I've added Hunter to.
Okay.
And that's mostly related to, here's an agenda, please post it on the web. But there's some other, so we,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
but
We're
we
working
need
along.
to have access to Instagram. We need, because.
And right, I mean, Dolores, do you want Hunter to start doing Facebook?
She
Yeah,
said
he
yes.
needs access. He
Yes,
needs access.
yes.
Yes.
Because I am not computer literate with working that thing and I'm.
Right, no, he needs access
He
to
needs
Nextdoor,
But is he
Yeah.
going to start doing it is what I'm trying to
I
get
think
at.
that's what he's planning to do,
Okay.
but I don't know
Forget
that
what he's planning to do. We need to be clear on what our expectation of him is. And that so when we're trying to promote things, we can say, here, Hunter,
Okay.
we would like for
Yes.
this to be
Well, if you're
promoted."
asking me what my expectation is, which might be different than anybody else's, he would be on the communications thread when Anne writes an email to Paula and me and Raheem saying, oh, I read your MailChimp, can I post this on the web? Hunter needs to be the person who says yes,
Okay,
because it used to be Raheem when he was more
Okay.
active. For example,
all right.
he needs to get the admin credentials, whatever
Oh.
it's called, for Nextdoor, and Dolores did,
Facebook.
no,
Yeah, she didn't get it.
did Lizzie give you Nextdoor, Dolores?
I've just
Okay,
been
so-
doing Facebook.
So Lizzie,
Talk about that.
okay, so it's Nextdoor, it's Facebook, it's
Instagram,
Instagram,
Twitter.
and if we have Twitter, you know, all the other ones, but those are the three I know used to be active.
Okay.
And then in addition to posting on the UNNC Facebook, that needs to be shared to all the other local Facebooks.
Okay, so I'd like to know clearly what he's doing, Laura.
Well,
Okay, I'm just saying that I'd like to know that.
okay, so that
the
would be
next thing
for,
is on the,
that'll be for the agenda where he's like, you know, that's not gonna be on our special meeting.
no.
Yeah,
So the last thing, the update on the UNNC account. So we have two accounts. Not to rehash, but there, a couple of years ago, Paul and I decided, along with the board, to establish another UNNC account, which we use for all the standing meetings,
So the committee meeting.
committee meetings. So the question is, do we want to continue with two Zoom accounts? Because we do have this other account, the main one that Laura and Paula use was issued by Dunn, and it may,
Well, it may disappear if Dunn is not funded to maintain, it's part of the city's bigger.
right. So the question is, do we really need two Zoom accounts?
Well, the reason you set up the second one, the private Zoom account, is because the city said we couldn't share.
Right, but just to be clear, almost every single neighborhood council shared that password except for Laura, who would not do it and attended every single meeting and got on everybody's nerves. We have to call it out the way it is. So that's why we got another account, which now the standing committees use, and everybody shares nobody really logs in and does their own meeting, but now that you can have a meeting on Zoom, because of our recent vote, Hunter may just want to have his communications meeting on Zoom, so he needs to be able to have access to that. Question is, do we want to pay for two accounts? That's all I'm
We've
asking.
never paid for the enterprise account with the city. And I don't know that it would be $200 and this one's $150. It's not like it breaks anybody's bank. I think my personal feeling is, yes, let's just keep two, because we don't know if we're gonna keep the one, and that's not in our control.
Good night, Dolores.
Good night,
Night.
Dolores.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel that it's also true that at this point, 4 years in, right, of the city enterprise account, it's probably fictional that only one person from every neighborhood council has the password, because so many of the people who were presidents when I was president the first year of COVID.
Aren't even on anymore.
Exactly. So that's something we can follow up with Alfonso and Gibson. Gibson's in charge. He's been in charge almost the whole time. But that fiction aside, I think the reason to keep the enterprise Zoom account is because it actually is up to 500 people. And while we certainly are not attracting 500 people at this point, I think our private account is up to 100. So, but there's other freebies. You guys there is one more thing after this session. Okay, so that's my thought. Board meeting refreshments. So Anna said that what I brought was fine.
There was a noise. What did you say?
Sorry.
Anna said that what I brought for our food for last board meeting, which you'll recall was that tray of Thai appetizers and then
Yeah.
not as a, is fine. That's a good path forward. I don't mean every month Thai appetizers. And I'm not even sure every month relish trays.
Well, and how, we're gonna have to figure out if we can get an account ahead of time anyway, because now that we're able to be on Zoom, we don't know how many people are gonna show up.
Right, so
That's true.
Right, right. But what we can do, in other words, going forward is plan on handheld, no forks and knives, foods. Whether it's panuche from, Mercado La Paloma or, whatever they're called from the
Just
Greek
finger
places.
food.
Yes,
Right, but not chicken. I mean, in other words, another neighborhood council got in trouble for wings, even though wings were recommended by Alfonso. So no wings, at least not now.
That's ridiculous.
I know, they're trying to make it not dinner. And I'm trying to make it healthy.
Wings does not make dinner.
I'm just saying, so Hunter, I think, volunteered to bring the next one whenever we're next in person, not the Zoom meeting, I guess. Didn't, Paul, is that right, that he had volunteered to bring the next one?
Gosh, yes, I believe it was Hunter.
So I'll
I don't have my notes in front of me.
apparently I'll talk to him double about that too, and we'll do a quorum check for the meetings. Okay.
Yes.
You guys are like really want to go. It's only 8:30.
Yeah.
I know, it's okay.
I need one, I'm not in the middle of.
Yeah, what do you mean it's only 8:30? 8:30 is a good time to end.
I know that, but no, you should see they're packing up.
Done.
She's
Yeah.
packing
So
up.
so am I. So am I.
Okay.
So am I, and I'm at home.
We're go ahead and adjourn. So we're not picking a date for the virtual meeting?
Or we have to talk to, we have to get.
We have to
quorum check. To find out who's actually gonna be available.
I mean, it could be a Saturdays.
So many things can be done on email.
Right.
Oh, that we used it more often.
Okay.
All right.
So we're adjourned. Okay, night, Paula.
I'm sorry.
Moving towards adjournment,
Much
should we
rather have my
adjourn?
t-shirt.
Yes.
All right, good night,
Paula.
everybody.
Good night.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.